What is up, friends? For those of you who are watching, this is my first sit down and talk YouTube video in a long time. And to be honest, just a little mini rant in the beginning. I have been kind of stressed about making a YouTube video because they're very time consuming to make. They're longer form content. They take a while to upload, but I lowered the barrier to entry. I have a nicer, newer iPhone. I just, propped up my iPhone on a little tripod and we're recording. I have a fancy camera, but it's a hassle. So we're chatting on the iPhone. I apologize if, this is weird. I might be I'm trying to look at myself in the camera and I feel like my eyes are looking this way. I'm trying to talk to you and look at you, so I apologize. But, we're just gonna go with it. Messy action, progress not perfection. That is my whole mantra. But anyway, today we're gonna be talking about supplements. This is a very popular question for a lot of my clients and people who just message me in general wanting health and fitness advice. So I'm gonna be chatting about those. And let me preface by saying that you do not need supplements right off the bat if you cannot afford them. They're particularly good if your health isn't in a great spot after maybe focusing on doing better choices with your diet as far as getting more fruits and vegetables in, whole nutrient dense foods, things that aren't as processed, because a lot of the times when we do that, we're gonna get more nutrients that way. And a lot of the times that we feel crappy or we may have certain conditions, it makes us deficient in certain things, okay? But definitely use this as a guideline if you are in a spot where you can invest in supplements. I'm gonna show you the basics, the ones that I think everybody should have at some point in time if they have the funds, and then some fun ones that I've kind of tried over time. And I've done a lot of trial and error with things, so these are the ones that I know personally work. Now, I will preface this also by saying the reason I really got into supplements lately, I do have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. For those of you who do not know what that is, it's basically a big blanket term for saying that you have a female hormonal imbalance. There's different kinds of it. You can have insulin resistance. Usually you're deficient in vitamin D. And a ton of other things. I have super irregular menstrual cycles, so I currently am on birth control to help manage that, and it's been a lot better. It's been a big journey. I have a couple podcast episodes about that. For those of you who don't know, I have a podcast, The Tea with Tina. That's kind of my place to sit down and chat as well, just like this video. So definitely you can go check that out. It's one of my earlier episodes. I think we're on 102 right now for episodes, so scroll all the way down. I'm episode number 3 or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. And for those of you who don't know, taking birth control can actually deplete you of essential nutrients as well. Things like magnesium, for instance, just the way it works from the body, we don't properly absorb enough nutrients. So there's a lot of opportunities to be nutrient deficient. On top of that, I come from a family history of thyroid issues. My mom and maternal grandma both had Graves' disease, which basically your immune system starts attacking your thyroid and is this is bad, we need to get rid of it. So they have to do emergency surgery to remove the thyroid. So both of them do not have their thyroids. My grandma has since passed, but my mom's still with us, and they have to be on medication to kind of supplement the hormones that your thyroid would produce. So I've always been kind of had a heightened awareness of my thyroid, and I was experiencing some higher stress, some symptoms of hypothyroidism, so I decided to get my levels tested. They are a little bit elevated, but it's considered subclinical hypothyroidism, so not quite the level of hypothyroidism. But anyways, this is a long-winded response basically for me to tell you that once I saw that, the doctor told me to retest in a couple months. So I was okay, I'm gonna really nail down my diet, because my diet has been not horrible, but I've been eating a lot of processed, quick, convenient foods, which isn't bad necessarily, but you tend to lack nutrients, right? So I'm focusing more on, salads, getting more veggies in, fruits in, going more gluten-free, lactose-free when I can with things, just the whole nutrient-dense foods, as opposed to something that may be empty, but is still considered, low calorie or healthy or quick, whatever it may be. So I decided to do that, but I also decided to really nail down on my supplements as well. And I have noticed a huge difference. It takes some time for it to really kick in, for your body to absorb everything and, use everything that you're giving it. But I've been feeling good. My energy's been better. Overall, I just feel better. My workouts have been better. My regularity in the bathroom has been better. Everything has been better. So I'm gonna share that with you. I am not sponsored. I would love to be sponsored, but I'm gonna show you the majority of the supplements that I'm gonna be showing you are from Legion Athletics. I absolutely love their stuff. Legion Athletics, they have their own website. You can buy their stuff on Amazon, I believe, as well too. They don't have any like physical stores or anything, but they are 100% science based. So all of their stuff, just reading from the label even, they have all natural ingredients, hormone and antibiotic free, they're gluten free, non-GMO, they are third party tested, which is really important. There's a lot of supplements that don't get tested by outside parties, so you can't really accurately assume what's in them is true. They're made in the USA, but like I said, very minimal ingredients, all naturally sweetened, and for the taste, I'm very picky, someone with taste. Their flavors for everything are delicious. I will say their greens, I did not like the greens. The greens were pretty gross. I'm picky with that stuff though. It personally tasted like dirt in my opinion. I've yet to find a greens powder that I like. So I did not like that, but they're also pretty good about it as well with getting your money back. So they have 100% money back guarantee. If you buy something and you don't like it, let them know. Send it back and they'll give you a refund. So they usually will do that. They have on their website scientific articles as to why they dose everything the way they do, what ingredients, it's an itemized list of the ingredients, no proprietary blends. The issue with proprietary blends, for instance, why would Legion's fish oil, which we'll get into these in a little bit, why would Legion's fish oil be $40 as opposed to when I can go to Walmart or Sam's Club or something and get a fish oil for $20? Well, if you look on the back, they might give you some sort of blend. You could actually maybe even compare them, but the amount of the product is probably gonna be less. It's gonna be watered down, and they're gonna put fillers in it to give it the appearance that there's more in it than what it actually is. And if you're spending $20 on something that's watered down and it's not a clinically effective dose, you're kind of wasting your time, or you'll have to double up, take more to get the same effect. Okay, so it is essentially a waste of money. Supplements, good supplements, are truly, I believe, an investment. And I notice a difference in how I feel with these ones. I've tried to, when money is tight, go to cheaper ones again, and I notice I feel like garbage or they don't work. And I always go back to Legion. I have a couple non-Legion things as well. I'll be discussing those too, but definitely check out their website. Like I said, I appreciate that everything is itemized. They tell you exactly how much of everything's in it. They show you what the ingredient is, what it does, and like I said, a link to scientific studies as to why it works and why they dose with that much. And I'm someone who's also sensitive and have had bad experiences with supplements where if I take something, I like get a negative reaction. I've yet to get that with Legion, so I'm super happy about that. Definitely recommend them. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to show you is a multivitamin. So it's Triumph. This one's a women's sports multivitamin. They have men's and women's. They used to just have a unisex one, but they divided it up. There is a lot of stuff in here, you can see. Tons of stuff. I freaking love it. I mainly would definitely recommend a multivitamin because, again, it fills all of the nutrient gaps that we're missing in a general diet. Aside from eating processed foods, if we eat everything perfectly from soil use years over year, the nutrients in the soil tends to get watered out. So the foods that are grown now, opposed to 50 to 100 years ago, actually have less nutrient value. So again, we go back to that thing that we have to eat more to get the same nutrients that maybe someone 50 to 100 years ago was eating. So there's definitely bound to be nutrient gaps somewhere, especially like if you're someone who doesn't eat a wide variety of foods, or you're eating all the colors of the rainbow for veggies and fruits, and sometimes it's not always possible. They're not in season, they're super expensive, we may just not like the taste of them. There's a lot of things. So that's why it's definitely important to use a multivitamin. And it covers all of the bases. The dosing is really good. They have some herbs in there as well. And again, you can go on the website and read into all the different herbs, what they do, all the different vitamins, and why they dose them. Now, as far as serving size with this particular one, it says 8 pills. I know that's crazy, 8 pills. It's not bad. They're like a regular size capsule. I have no issues swallowing pills, so it doesn't bother me. Some of you it may bother. They do have a suggestion that you could do 4 in the morning and 4 at night to kind of evenly absorb it throughout the day, because we know whatever we don't use, our body pretty much just pees it out. So you may notice you have like neon yellow pee or something, right? But yeah, so there's a lot of pills for this one. Now you could try another multivitamin. There's ones that aren't as bad, but again, I would argue you probably won't get the same quality or the right dosage. However, also everybody is different. So if there's maybe something you know particularly that you're lacking from blood work that you got from the doctor, you may need a different multivitamin because it may have more of X nutrient, right? So, you know, be mindful, check your labels, compare them, see what has more, what has less, what's more beneficial for you, and all that. Now, it does say just some benefits. It boosts health and performance, reduces stress and fatigue, and enhances immunity and longevity. 32 vitamins, minerals, herbs, and amino acids. So really great. For a little bit, I was only taking 4 capsules, which is something else you can do. You could start with 4 because you're getting half the dose, and then kind of build up to the 8 after a couple weeks. That is something. Now, I also was doing that to try to extend these a little bit more, but I will tell you, once I had the thyroid thing and I doubled up, I noticed a difference in how I felt. The 8 capsules, I definitely feel way better. It's 240 total capsules, so it gives you a whole month's serving, okay? So that's what I recommend. Number 1, for sure, a multivitamin of some sort, and do your research on it, okay? 2, this is pertaining to PCOS, thyroid issues, and really anybody, especially those of you who live in the New England area like myself, is vitamin D. D3. If we aren't outside in the sun all the time, we don't get enough sunlight exposure, even wearing sunscreen, even though you should wear sunscreen, we're probably not absorbing the right amount of vitamin D that we need to. 90+% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D for one reason or another. So that's why it's important to supplement with it. My multivitamin has 2,000 IU, which is fine. You could supplement with at least 2,000 IU. I would recommend, if you are deficient in vitamin D, you can only really check that through blood work prescribed by a doctor. Have them look at it. If you are deficient, they will give you a certain amount, like a recommended dose of vitamin D. Oftentimes they'll like blast you with a super high amount, sometimes 10, 15,000+ IU of vitamin D, and they'll do that for so many weeks and they'll taper you off. This is not something that you should do by yourself. It should be something that's prescribed by a doctor. But as a general everyday, you can definitely supplement with it for sure. Now with the gummies, I will say I like the gummies, you know, I take 2 a day, they taste good, but the best way to get ones that absorb truly, after I'm finished with these gummies, I'll probably invest in a vitamin D3 supplement with vitamin K, because vitamin K helps you absorb it better. That's why they always recommend that you take stuff with food, because it's a little bit easier to absorb in your body. But nonetheless, a vitamin D supplement of some sort is going to help you. It's going to give you a little more energy, because a lot of people experience fatigue and tiredness, especially at the time of me recording this. We just had daylight savings, which I don't even think they're going to do it next year, supposedly, in the United States. But there's less daylight, so less time to absorb sunlight. It gets colder and you just feel crappy. So this is a good time of year to start doing it, okay? So definitely recommend that. Next, freaking love this stuff. Probiotic. It's funny because Legion actually just came out with a gut supplement that I think is considered a probiotic. I've yet to try it, but I've used this for as long as I can remember. It's Renew Life. Renew Life is very inexpensive. I want to say their stuff's anywhere between like 15 to 20 bucks. And this container gives you 50 vegetarian capsules, so 50, almost 2 months worth. I take the serving size as 1 capsule, and you can take it whenever. I take it in the morning with everything. And the goal with probiotics is to look for the billions of cultures. So the more billions of cultures you have, generally the better it works. This has 30 billion. I've had ones all the way up to like 50 billion. The women's one that I got last time had 50 billion, and this one's extra care, and I don't know why it only has 30. But there's 12 different strains as well in here. It's live bacteria, okay? So probiotics are live bacteria. This one says you don't have to refrigerate it, but I refrigerate mine just to be safe because it keeps the cultures live. And I guess the goal for having higher cultures, this is not scientifically researched, this is just my thoughts on it, is that the more you have, I mean, some are gonna die in the process, right? They may not all get to your gut. So the more you have, the more higher of a chance you're gonna have of good bacteria getting to your gut. And like I said, this has been the one that has probably produced the quickest results for me. I have a nervous stomach. I am sensitive to certain foods, and I hate being out and about and like panicking and having to go to the bathroom. So ever since I use a probiotic, I have regular bowel movements. I really don't have my stomach get upset that often. It's very rare. And it's the easiest thing for me. And this is gluten, dairy, and soy free as well. So definitely a good supplement to take. Between a multivitamin, vitamin D, and a probiotic, these are my top 3 for everybody that I think everybody could benefit from, okay? Another one that I would still consider a part of my essentials would be fish oil, okay? This one again is Legion. Fish oil, you need a quality fish oil. Again, to be properly absorbed. And if you're not eating fish, I forget the exact amount, but I think if it's like twice a week, if you're not eating fish at least twice a week, you should probably supplement with a fish oil, because they get you quality omega-3s, fatty acids, which help with inflammation, heart disease. They help cushion your joints and things like that, and help lubricate your joints. And the things on here that it says is high potency and molecularly distilled, so I'm assuming filtered very well, added vitamin E and lemon oil, and sustainably sourced. You don't really get the fish burps with this one. If you do, which is occasionally for me, I will taste lemon, not fish. And we have 2.4 grams of omega-3 fatty acids per serving. So again, I like this. I think it does help also just, inflammation, and I do notice a difference in my training, I think, with my recovery and stuff when I take this fish oil. It helps because my joints feel stronger and I don't feel as inflamed, if that makes sense. My recovery, I get sore, but I feel like my recovery is a lot better. So fish oil, again, is one of those things, right along with a multivitamin, that I definitely recommend taking. Legion, like I said, has a good dosage of it. There might be some other ones out there. Haven't done the research, but I know something like a Walmart one probably wouldn't be as good. It wouldn't be as high quality. Okay, so don't cheap out on those guys. Now we're gonna get into kind of like the fun ones. These are supplementary ones if you ever lack motivation in the gym, or you just may need a little boost in your routine. These are things that you can use. So we got protein. Protein's number 1. Legion has whey, casein, and vegan protein. I personally have always just used the whey. It says it is a grass-fed whey protein, naturally sweetened and flavored, and no added sugars. And it gives you 22 grams of protein. It's not the biggest amount, compared to maybe other brands. And there is only 1 gram of sugar, which is good. But I have cinnamon cereal flavor. So it kind of looks like some Cinnamon Toast Crunch left in water, and then you eat the cereal and all that's left is that cinnamony water. That's milk, cinnamony milk. This is what that would taste like. The flavor is really good. I'm happy because I'm really picky about protein. Or again, the ones that taste really good usually are like the crappier quality ones that may say, oh, you're getting like 30, 40 grams per serving. But if it's a lower quality protein, you may not be absorbing all of that. Again, a ton of fillers and things like that. But yeah, I just pretty much mix this with 8 to 10 ounces of usually milk. I use the Fairlife ultra filtered milk. It keeps the calories and the fat low, but the protein content's a little bit higher, and it's lactose free, which is great because I have a sensitive stomach to that kind of stuff. But yeah, I do love their protein, but there's a ton of different protein you can get. Do your research, play around a little bit, get something that you enjoy. I really only recommend a protein supplement like a shake or a powder or even a bar if you're struggling to get protein in every day. It is hard to reach your protein goals because you should be having 0.8 to 1 gram of per pound of body weight that you are, with an exception to people who are a little bit more overweight. They might have 25, 30 plus pounds to lose. The equation gets adjusted a little bit, but on average it's 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you have a 150-pound female, you should be getting about 150 grams. Again, that can be altered a little bit because it is 0.8 to 1 gram per pound. But definitely if you can't get that in your diet and you're struggling, I recommend throwing in a protein shake. Even like the Fairlife shakes, they're 24 all the way up to, or 26, I'm sorry, 26 all the way up to 42 grams of protein in one little shake. So you can definitely skyrocket towards your goals with something like that. Even this is just an extra 20 grams, pretty low calorie for the amount of protein you get too. So you get the most bang for your buck. So protein, definitely a somewhat staple, but again, not necessary. Don't waste your money. Try to hit your protein goals through food first. Okay, this one I was a little skeptical about because I am a caffeine addict. Not really. I try to shoot below like 250 milligrams of caffeine a day. They say the healthy limit's like 400 to 450 milligrams, although I know many people who go way above that. For me personally, if I go above 200 to 250, I notice that my anxiety increases, my indigestion increases, I just get an upset stomach. So I'm a little more caffeine sensitive than most probably. So I tried this pre-workout shake, and that was just my cat's food that went off. Pre-workout shake? Pre-workout powder. And it's Pulse, but if you notice, it's stim free. So what that means is there's no caffeine in it. And I was really skeptical. And the reason I picked this is because Legion's caffeine including pre-workout drink has 350 milligrams of caffeine, and that is way too much for me. And I usually drink my caffeine first thing in the morning, whether it be a little energy drink or serving a coffee. Like, that's it. I need it to wake me up and get me going. By the time I work out, which could be a couple hours later to maybe around 5 o'clock at night, I'm dragging. The caffeine is out of my system and I need something. So I did a lot of research. I looked at this. I looked at all the ingredients and why they put in here what they did. And I bit the bullet. And let me tell you, 10 out of 10. So the flavor is blue raz. Again, I was nervous because, you know, some pre-workout can have like a chalky, super overly sweet flavor. It just tastes meh. No, this tastes good. It tastes like an actual drink, which is what I strive for when I drink something. I don't want it to taste like a supplement. So it tastes like blue raspberry. I mix it with about 10 ounces of water. It does say it boosts strength, endurance, and focus. And it does have a little bit of beta-alanine. Now, let me tell you, it does not really make me tingle. It will a little bit when I'm like in the heat of my workout, but it's not horrible. It's just enough to kind of get me going. I might feel a little bit in my face, a little bit in my hands. It does definitely keep me focused. My workouts before, I felt like I was dragging and I needed something to give me a boost. And this is just the thing to keep me focused on my workout. I'm just zoned in and I'm getting it done. And I can't really describe it unless you experience it. It's such a great feeling, especially as someone who's a personal trainer in the gym. I sometimes get my workouts in between clients, and there's, you know, clientele in the gym. I might be worrying about them, or someone might come up to me and ask a question, and I have a hard time focusing a lot of the time. But with this, despite distractions, I still can get right back into my workout. I can get into the zone, really push my weights, really focus on form, and it's just been a freaking game changer for me, okay? Really, and I do believe it boosts my heart rate a little bit, but nothing crazy. Like, I notice it because I wear my zone heart rate monitor, and I'll get my heart rate up in a zone that's appropriate for me. Again, we're not like over the top, like dying. I really get an extra sweat going, and I've noticed I've overall burned more calories, probably because overall I've been having more intensity in my workouts. I can go longer with my workouts. I can push harder with my workouts. And I know that sounds almost too good to be true, but honestly, I've been freaking loving it. And a serving size is 2 scoops for this guy, but I only have been using 1. They recommend to start with 1 to see how you feel, and I definitely feel the effects with just one. I'm sure I'll probably build up some tolerance in the future with it, and I might switch to two, but for now, I'm using one. And I take it about 30 minutes before my workout. And usually once I start to warm up on cardio, get the blood flowing, it goes through my bloodstream a little bit quicker, and then I start to notice the effects. But I don't get a crash from it or anything. If I take it like, later in the day, I don't find myself having issues staying up and not falling asleep. So honestly, freaking amazing. I love it. If you're in the market for a pre-workout, maybe you don't want with a ton of caffeine, but something that's gonna give you energy and keep you focused, this is it. All right, and then I have two more for you guys. So I'm gonna tell you about collagen. This is Youtheory. Now, I don't take this at the moment because this may be a little unknown fact, but if you do use biotin and then you also, this isn't for everybody, but if you use biotin and then you take collagen, which they kind of essentially do the same thing, biotin and collagen help with skin, hair, and nails. They make your skin brighter, clearer, your hair stronger and shinier, and your nails stronger and grow a little bit faster. If you mix them, sometimes you can break out. And with me, if I mix them, I break out. So like I normally drink like the Alani Nu energy drinks, which have biotin in them. If I take collagen with it, instant breakouts, painful breakouts. So I'm a little bit extra sensitive to this. I used to take this when I didn't drink that. I personally like the energy drinks more than the collagen. so I've been sacrificing the energy drinks. But this is still a great supplement. I think if I were to choose between biotin and collagen, with an exception to maybe some people react differently, I think collagen has produced better results. Now this one's a little crazy one again. It does recommend 6 tablets per day, and this is a pretty big, they're pretty big tablets, but it does also give you type 1, 2, and 3 collagen. So there's different kinds of collagens. And it does have some vitamin C in it, but like I said, I did notice the biggest difference with this. I got so many compliments on my hair, skin, and nails when I was taking this consistently. I think with all of my other supplements, I'm getting enough in that my hair, skin, and nails are pretty good as of right now, but when I was really focusing on it, I saw some great results. So if you're having issues with hair, skin, and nails, and maybe you want to try it out and you're not taking biotin, give collagen a try. Youtheory is a really good brand. I've had no issues with them. They might have a powder as well, but I've definitely noticed some good results with this. And then the last thing, I didn't open it yet, so I can't give a formal review, but I tried Legion's, it's called Energy Surge. So what this is, which is really cool, it's an unflavored powder, and it has 100 grams or 100 milligrams of caffeine, some B vitamins, and you're supposed to mix it in with something just to kind of get like a midday boost. And I like this because I think of a Coca-Cola or a Diet Coke, I think it has like 70 milligrams of caffeine. So the equivalent of that, but like not as chemically, right? Nothing wrong with Diet Coke though, I drink my Diet Coke every now and then. Everything in moderation. But I definitely want to try this out, especially like I have my True Lemon packets right now, which is just crystallized lemon. And if I were to like throw that in there, a scoop, just like to give me a little boost where I'm not like overly consuming caffeine, it would literally be almost the same as if I just drank a Diet Coke or something. I think that would be perfect as a nice little boost throughout the day. So I definitely gonna try this. I think I'm gonna try this maybe one of the evenings that I'm staying up a little bit later and I need that boost, but I don't want to like die and be awake all night. So definitely I'll update you on this, but I think it's going to be good. I have yet to be disappointed by anything Legion makes. I think it's such an interesting supplement, especially the unflavored part's so cool because you can literally mix it with anything. You can mix it with orange juice if you wanted to. I don't know if that would be interesting, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that is my little ramble of all the supplements that I like. Thank you for sitting down and chatting with me. This is a super casual video. Like I said, my first YouTube video that was sit down and talk in a long time. So if you enjoyed, if you can give this video a thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated. You can share it with a friend, share it on your page. Definitely be sure to subscribe for more. I do a lot of like exercise demo videos because I feel like the women the women population is not represented enough with demo videos, because I try to find some demo videos for my online coaching clients in my training app, and sometimes it's a pain in the butt and I'm like, I'm just gonna make my own. And I do a lot of reels, well, shorts on YouTube, sorry. Instagram's like my main hangout, but I do a lot of shorts on here as well. So yeah, let me know, if you want to see more of these. It'd be greatly appreciated. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll chat soon. Bye now.